for me, I want to preface this by saying my understanding of history, everybody has their own understanding. The real Europe or the real power in Europe is Germany. When I look at it personally, historically, we can debate that. And whoever bombed the Nord Stream pipeline, they do have a medium term, long term goal. They knew any other type of politics, social democrats, whatever you're doing, they don't care about it. Because they've proved throughout history that real power is power of violence, power of politics, and power of money, and they will enforce whatever they want. And I think this is the politics of the social democrats they should have learned after the Second World War. How do we, because I believe they have the intelligence, how do we forestall and how do we mitigate this Nazism? Because it never died. It never. They were too devilishly brilliant for them to die. They knew the environment was not amenable for their cause at that point in time, and they just went into hibernation. And they strategically came out, whether it's in Ukraine, actually not even in Ukraine, all over the world. You can actually see the industries built and all that. So, fairly or unfairly, as scholars, I would like to blame those who never learn from history, those who keep on forming coalitions and all that. Can they put to me what type of power did they build to say when Nord Stream pipeline has been bombed, they must know that it's very dangerous and it's heralding a very dangerous situation that is coming. What investigations are there? Because it's so quiet. Because for me, that fits into the global plan. And the United States knew very well, I think they're the ones who bombed. By bombing that, they are doing down the whole of Europe, because Europe is Germany. If they can, so for me, as far as I'm concerned, the politics that are going to come after the umbilical cord of the gas pipeline from Russia, which was optimal and cheaper for Germany, for them to be a powerhouse. They have the experience, the skill set, and all that. What are they doing? I think the politics that we're speaking about, I'm not a German, but what I'm hearing and my analysis, I think that it's just cosmetic, it's peripheral. It doesn't face the bull. And what I am seeing is the far right politics that is taking place globally. And certain elites in Germany are actually part of that. They definitely know what is going on. Anybody else is just being used as a facade. So we're seeing a configuration of global power. And he spoke about German supremacy, and he's very right. But he said whatever that means. If you go into history, it's very clear what it means. Very, very clear. Because it was spelled out in history. Yes, there is people who don't agree with it in Germany, who are blonde, who are blue, and what. But it's very, very clear. If you are not as white as them, if you're not as white as Donald Trump, as Joe Biden, as Angela Merkel, you are not one of them. And many people have perished. And they've just done it in real time for us here because of digital infrastructure and all that. We saw what happened in Gaza. Not that only Gaza. I mean, Sudan is. We know who's responsible for Sudan. We know what's happening in the DRC. But okay, let's focus on what happened in Gaza. Netanyahu is right there. Who's basically an American, actually. Netanyahu is an American, right? I don't know how he becomes a Semite. He's an American. That's my history. That's what I've researched. And we have President Donald Trump. I think he was very arrogant. I think he was very racist. Not that it's anything new. You heard what he said. We will rebuild Gaza. The people in Gaza cannot stay in Gaza. I will have to make a plan for them to go to Jordan and Egypt. And we will own. He actually said, we will own. There's somebody who's wanted by the International Criminal Court and the International Court of Justice. And he's given legitimacy to him. Twin that with the elections in in Germany. Twin that with the Nord Stream pipeline. And all these things that are happening. You can actually see that there is a pattern. So I've asked my question, you've heard it, but for dramatic effect, I want to repeat. Those who are not of the far right in Germany, yes, I believe they are brilliant, they can see what's happening. Why have they not built a tangible power to counter what is happening today? Because just talking peripherally will not do anything when Gaza has been wiped off right in front of our eyes. Thank you.